Okay, in our next example here, uh, we're asked to find the equation of a line that has a center again. So uh, here we're looking at the same scenario, except this time, instead of telling us a particular point on the uh, circle, they tell us something else. So here, uh, this should have said center at 2, 4. Getting ahead of myself again here. So we should say here center at 2, 4. Okay, and this time we were told that our circle is tangent to x equals 5. So we immediately know the center, so we can incorporate that information. Once again, x minus 2 quantity squared plus y minus 4 quantity squared equals r squared. So now we tackle this problem of tangent, of it being tangent to something. You've probably heard the expression going off on a tangent. Basic idea being, here's the discussion, and you're tracking along that discussion for a while, and then you're all of a sudden off in another direction. Okay. So that's the same idea as a tangent to a curve, or in this case, tangent to a circle. So let me put down what we know. Our center is at 2, 4. So if I draw a little graph here, we know the center of our circle is at the point 2, 4. And then we're told that it's tangent to the line x equals 5. X equals 5 is a vertical line, right? Vertical line passing through the point there. And so we're told our graph is tangent to that. What that means for us is that our graph comes and it just touches that line at one point. Right? So it comes over and it just touches that line. That's what it means. It just comes over and touches that line. So what they're telling us is that that's a point on the circle right there, where the circle and that line, x equals 5 cross, that's a point on the circle. So we could write that down, or we could just recognize, since x is 2 here, and this is the line 5, that in fact our radius here is just equal to 3. And so now that we know the radius, we can plug that information back into our formula, and we have our equation here. X minus 2 quantity squared plus y minus 4 quantity squared equals 3 squared, which would be 9. And so now we have the equation of that circle as well. Okay, so that's what the idea of tangent means in the case of a circle. It's just a line that just comes down and touches the circle only at that one point. All right, let's consider one more example here with writing these equations of lines. And so in this problem, we're told that the endpoints of a diameter are at, let's say, 1, 4 and -7. 2. Okay. So the endpoints of a diameter are at 1, 4 and at negative 7, 2. So what exactly does that mean? Well, a diameter, remember, is a line that passes through the center of a circle and then hits the circle on two ends. So, in other words, if we get ourselves a circle here, then a diameter is just simply a line that passes from one point on the circle through the center and then out to another point on the circle. So that's called a diameter. Diameter is essentially a line that cuts a circle in half. Cuts a circle in half. That's called a diameter. So we're going to label this here as like the 0.14 here. And the other one there we could label as the point negative 72. All right, so there's our picture. And then our task still is to figure out the center of our circle. Just to figure out the center of our circle. That's always the first thing we want to know. And so to find the center here, we use this diameter idea. We use this diameter idea here, right? The center, from the center out to a point, that's our radius r. We know, of course, if you know the diameter of a circle and cut that diameter in half, we know you would get the radius. So we know we could take and do the radius by figuring out the distance between these 2 points and cutting it in half. All right, that would give us the r part of our formula, but we want to know the center. So since this is r and this is r, they have to be, it's the same distance in both directions because they're both points on a circle, then what we realize is that the center is smack dab in the middle of these 2 points. In other words, we recognize that the center of our circle is the midpoint of that diameter. So to find the center of our circle, we just find the midpoint. Now there's a formula, or you can just remember the shorter way of doing it, and that is just to average your values. Average your x values. Negative 7 plus 1 over 2, right? And average your y values. 2 plus 4 over 2. And so we work that out. Negative 7 plus 1 would be negative 6 divided by 2 would be negative 3. 2 plus 4 is 6 divided by 2 would be 3. So we know that our center is at negative 3, 3. And so we can put that into our formula. X plus 3 squared plus y minus 3 squared equals r squared. So now we know the center. And so all that's left for us now, excuse me, all that's left for us now is to find what r squared is. So we take our x and y values. We have a point there, 1, 4. We actually have another point, negative 7, 2. We can actually use either one of those to plug in to find r squared. So I'm just going to take the first one, the 1, 4. So plugging in the point 1, 4, I'll have 1 plus 3 quantity squared plus 4 minus 3 quantity squared equals r squared. And then I simplify. 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 squared is 16. 4 minus 1 is 1. 1 squared is 1. 16 plus 1 is 17 equals the r squared. And so now we know that our formula for the equation of a circle is x plus 3 squared plus y minus 3 squared equals 17. So now we have the equation of our circle. So that wraps up section 2.4 for us. So we're completely done now with 2.4. So with that in mind, we're going to assign, so you have assignment up for 2.4, but also darn it, just give me 1 second here. Okay. Also, I'm going to go ahead and assign Chapter 2 review problems there as well. So remember, those 4 problems you can find again on MyMathLab, right, where you're finding the length midpoint, determining the symmetry, finding the equation of the line, and this problem with a circle as well. So again, check those out. And again, find those. If I can ever get it to work out the right way here. Okay. And that will be due Friday. That will be due in class on Friday. So